You were probably expecting a upbeat intro, like how we've been doing for the last few summons, but no, this isn't upbeat. You're about to watch a showcase, and you're about to watch a summon sesh, all that type of stuff like we usually do, and I'm just gonna let you know now, I don't like this character. I despise this Simon. Now, I'm not gonna say it, but you guys already know, usually after the update, the track record hasn't been too good, but it is currently 2:46 in the morning, and your boy is going to try to summon the one and only Simon. We're not going to be doing the showcase like tonight. I'll probably record that in the morning, try them out on a few different things, see how I like them. But for right now, we're going to do a multi, do some alch, and hope for the best, you know what I'm saying? Simon, I think, looks really cool. I think he has a lot of cool things going on with him, and I am, oh my gosh. There's no one else on this banner either that I don't have. This has to be him. Wait, 3 golds? Okay, well, at least we got the Rags animation. Oh yeah, this is the first summon video with the new animations. I completely forgot about that. We got the mirror. Wait, where's Roy? What is going on here? Hold on. Let me skip it. I like that. Oh, that's sick. That is very sick. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a character I never use, by the way. Like, I'm just going to put that out there. I don't think I'm going to be using Simon all the time, but this looked cool. Very freaking cool. But hey, I'll see you guys in the morning in 3, 2, 1. And just like that, it's the next day. Actually, 11:30 in the morning to be precise. So I've done some digging and stuff and kind of was wondering how good his Dark Prayer true weapon actually is. Because you actually come over here and we look at Dark Prayer, it gives you 30 art gauge. And it's only a 40-second cooldown, but at the same time too, it does give you 2 arts a second. Because in reality, this equip is very efficient. Because if you guys don't know, I'm going to do some real nerd shit right here. 30 art gauge divided by 40, which is the duration, and 30 arts is what you generate. That's a 0.75 arts per second, pretty much within the whole, cooldown time. That's okay. That's not incredible. I know that probably just sounds like a bunch of gibberish to people who don't do this. But if you factor in this equip that autofills art gauge by 2, within like a 40-second duration here, if we do the exact same thing, we just say, well, 2 times 40 because, it's 40 seconds before this equip comes back. Then we also add the 30 arts on top of it. By default, this equip is generating 110 arts every 40 seconds, which translates to it generating 2.75 arts a second, which is pretty freaking good. And I don't know if I would use it all the time, but I would definitely use it in sustain and stuff. We're gonna try it in like some nukes and stuff today, but yeah, I'm probably gonna switch this out for a different thing, maybe like a I don't know. We'll see. So if you have no idea what this Simon does, he's just a big nuke button, pretty much. As you see here, he's able to give himself art gauge, and then he stacks dark res down on the enemy. We have a true art that's able to buff up the amount of damage that we deal to an enemy. By the way, I think they changed this. They actually gave it to where the origin bullet now does 200%. I think before then it was only 150. So technically they made this stronger. I don't know. I don't feel like he needed that. I feel like they needed to touch the art gauge he gets right here on the true art a bit more, but we'll see how good this is in game. And then the super art is just a big ignore enemies defense, kind of reminiscent of the original Simon with his phantom bullet, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have the origin bullet here, or the phantom bullet, and this one is pretty much, it works exactly like how Jinu's super art works. It's a dynamic scaling attack. It starts at 300k base, which is a really good multiplier to start at, and then it doubles the damage against enemies whenever they're below 50% HP, and then it quadruples the damage against enemies whenever they're below 25% HP. On top of all this, he has his main passive here, Undertaker, where he's able to give himself tons of damage all the way up to 1000% for each enemy that he fails by his own attack. His own attack does not just include his skill animation, his arts, it should also include his equips. So being able to use your equip on every stage could be very, very important, which is one of the reasons why I'm debating if I really want to use Ashura here or possibly Young Emperor's true weapon, because that would be overall better. In terms of the true weapons we have, one does give him an extra origin bullet because by default he only has a single shot of the origin bullet, and the next one gives him that 20% damage and the 2 arts per second. Crest wise, I want to tack up an art gauge. He's just a big nuke button, so might as well. And then if we go over here to the animations, this is where I have the most grievances. Him stacking up damage is fine, but if he's stacking up damage, I would love for this character to have a way to quickly deal damage in his kit, so you would be able to stack this up without needing outside sources like equips, for an example. Because look at this art. Mind you, he gets this art back every single time he uses it because it refunds him 100 art gauge as long as he's not in the stats element. So look, he literally does it, but look how long this takes. This initial circle, I don't think does damage. And the little clock or whatever it is on the ground, he literally has to do this, do the pose, and then he slices down. Like, it is what it is. Mind you, this is also stacking, and you could see that it's not the fastest. It takes a while. I mean, it looks really cool. I will say that. All of his animations, I think, have a lot of flair to them. And they're all just so long. I would have wished that they all could have got like a 20 or 30% speed buff on them. And that would have probably solved most of the issues I have with a unit like this. Because I don't mind just getting a straight damage dealer. But just make them good. You know what I mean? Make them actually go crazy. The super art here is really cool. I love how this looks. Even though I don't think you're going to be using this hardly at all. I mean, maybe you will every now and again if you want the defense ignored, but more than likely you're going to be running a team that gives yourself crit chance or something like that, so you won't need it. And then we have the Phantom Bullet here, which he goes off screen, but if I'm not mistaken, it's just a huge slice down, and he actually changes his weapon because he has a scythe usually, but he changes the scythe into this like warhammer type thing whenever he puts in the Phantom Bullet, which I think is really cool. I'm going to try him out in the training battle real quick. I'm going to be honest with you, though. This is probably one of the worst places to try him out because his Origin Bullet actually won't scale in here because I doubt we'll be able to drop Valzende's HP and hold him at a low HP. Even though you technically can if you deal enough damage, by the way. Like, it's not impossible. But against the boss, this is where you would kind of start using your true art to stack a lot with Simon. You could also use your art in between just to kind of like get the dark res down and stuff. You definitely don't need to. But I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt, right? We are going to use his Origin Bullet, and let's see the damage here. Also, wait, let me actually reset the details here, and then we're going to show it in battle, and let's see what happens with this Origin Bullet hit. I mean, just so granted, this is what I was talking about. He doesn't have like any of his additional damage up, or he's not able to like increase his modifier during his Phantom Bullet. 152 million really ain't looking good, man. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, dude, I really hate the units that they design like this, by the way. I do not like the whole scaling multiplier as the lower the HP goes. Let's try him on the stage real quick, and I'm just curious to see if he's even able to get a stack with these two on the team. I'm gonna use like Ashura and stuff. Look at that. He didn't even get a stack. This guy's fucking garbage. Instead of Ashura, I think we definitely have to go Young Emperor's True Weapon. After that performance, I think we do. And Young Emperor's True Weapon also gives Arc Gauge, if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty cool. To be honest, I may have to actually buy like another one. But I don't think I'll be ever using Young Imp at the same time as Simon. But yeah, because see, we get 20 Arc Gauge, and then every single battle start, we do get this equip back. And this equip is probably going to be the reason Simon can stack. I'm going to be completely honest here. Even with that, though, like you still have to be relatively quick. Because I think Simon's position, he's more in the front anyway, so that's good. But like, you gotta do like that. The boom. We got one stack there. I mean, it's better than having no stacks, right? Let's pop his Origin Bullet. Let's pop these, this, and this. I mean, he's gonna die. And he's not gonna be able to do anything. But we gotta pick like a stronger fight here. You know what sucks too? This Simon would have been so good to give him a ratio passive. And I know like people be like, oh my god, dude, you say that every time, but like I'm being so serious. If you gave this Simon a ratio passive, there's technically someone that came out that could solve his speed problems, at least when it came to his Arc Gauge. But in this quest against Jinnu, the best thing that we could do to actually show off Simon's damage, because Jinnu cannot get clapped up unless you break him. But yeah, like if you're using him alongside like jumpstart characters, he just can't really compete, man. Like it sucks, but it's just how it is. He's not fast enough to off the enemies a lot of the time. We're gonna pop this true art here to lower the enemy's physical res as a shadow with Shiro Emiya. And we actually do have enough stacks to go off, so we're going to just get the crit res down in just a second here, and then we're going to see how much damage we can do, which is right here. We're going to get the crit res down now. Super art animation or something, you know what? Let's just pop it off right now, because he's still taking damage, so why not? And we are going to actually reset the log here. So this is just Simon with 1000% damage up. His true weapons are equipped, and we also have Shadow's debuff. We have Hoka's buff here. So let's see what the DPS is from Simon's Origin Bullet. This is at max, that you can do. Okay, well, it didn't count like the damage right there because he's already at 1 HP, but that was some fat numbers. So we're going to take him up against the Fire Summoners Road here, and this is actually a stage that has quite a few enemies in it, so we can maybe get like a few stacks possibly. And we are using Summer Chloe in this situation, and Shadow as well. Now this is one issue, is that Simon's not going to be able to get his crazy stuff going off because, well, he's constantly in a status effect, which maybe I should have put on someone that can actually help defend against this, because they deal lots of deeps. Actually, you know what? You probably can use your super art here. I could probably use the Origin Bullet because, like, I'm gonna get another one anyway. Yeah, you know what? And the rest of it should be able to help clean up the end result of whatever it is. We also got the crit chance right here, which is great. And then, boom. Oh yeah, look at that. Instantly taking him down. Love that. Well, let's see if Simon can be our savior here. Simon, pop on with that Origin Bullet, big fella. Let me see. Let me see if he can be our savior. He's at 50% HP. We are going to show in battle. I don't know if we still have the crit chance. I don't think we do, but I think Simon can still like really do some damage right here, even with no crit. Just nothing but multiplier. And he didn't kill. I mean, if he had crit, he definitely would have, but only 30 mil. Yeah, you know what? Let's try this again, but this time with Hoka. But yeah, to put it simple so far, very underwhelmed by Simon, which I already knew I was going to be, man. I went into this knowing that this guy, he's just a cool looking unit, and that's it. That's like kind of all I can say about him. You know what, let's use the Origin Bullet right here and just take him all the way down. And then whenever we do get him to that 50%, Simon should be able to finish it, if I'm not mistaken, because like, right? I should have brought Shadow, I guess. Like, oh my god. Like, I truly believe every other part of this guy's kit is just an actual trap. Like, you're not even supposed to use it. Just use his super art and his Phantom Bullet, and don't worry about any other part of his kit. If you worry about the other parts of his kit, you believe there's a good unit here, but there's not. Just use his super art for the big multiplier. Don't worry about anything else. Just use him only for that. Also, another issue with a character like this, especially one that has limited uses of something that scales damage, is that whenever you have a threshold like this, it doesn't matter how much damage you hit this man for, that threshold is going to stop it. So, like, does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? Probably not, you know? It really doesn't. One of the reasons why I just kind of hate these units too, man, because they just get stopped all the time. I hate thresholds that just stop damage, but literally, like, this is one of the cases where the damage just stops, and there's no reason for me to use Simon's Phantom Bullet there, or in a situation where we'll technically waste it because like it takes forever to get it back. Like I just wind up holding it because I don't want to use it since it takes so long to get back, and it sucks. That's terrible. Now, look, we'll use the super art here just to get the defense ignore and everything going, but like, look, he's barely. I mean, he's dealing good damage actually. He's doing okay considering how much DR this boss does have. I have to give credit where credit is due, even though the credit is just you doing the bare minimum. Most damage carries in this fight kind of just melt it like it's nothing, especially ones that came out now. Or hell, if you even have Uzu. Like, oh my goodness, I'm telling you guys, it is something. Also take note too, I know we haven't used Simon's Phantom Bullet yet, but I want you to take note of the damage charts up here. You see how Saitama's not that far behind during all of this, and he's only been spamming his true art. Like, you know, some people may be like, oh man, dude, you can't look at that. Like, look, let's actually use the super art right here. Let's do it. Why not? Let's see how much damage this man deals. We have crit and everything else, and it'll take him like 6 years for him to load it. But once he loads it, you know, he's jumping right now. Look at the damage. I mean, we got to it, and he went up to 23 million, so I mean, that's definitely good. Now, look, we have to stack it again, which is sucky, man. It sucks so much. Technically, I'm not going to stack it all the way. No, screw that. I'm not going to stack it all the way. Once we get to our super art, there we go. We have our Phantom Bullet, and we finally can kill this boss. Maybe we can do it a bit faster, depending on what it is. Oh, wait, we actually have our crit, too. Yeah, look at that. Wow, Simon. Good job, man. You finally did it. Holy, I'm sorry to be so negative in this video, especially about like a new unit, but like, this is ridiculous. It truly is. There's no reason that you should struggle with that whenever you could just, I'm gonna sound like a fucking broken record, but like this guy's technically not even a straight damage dealer. He's doing something else, and he's gonna be dealing more DPS on average than fucking Simon will. Hell, with Young Emperor beside him, I mean, Young Emperor might actually be able to out damage this Simon in like a long piece of content, because you have to wait for the opportune moments in most cases, or at least I am. That's how it feels like you have to play him, which I know may be a mistake. Maybe I should just let it rip instantly, but like if I let the super art rip, then I have to wait 6 years to build up my damage again to even do it. Mind you, I rarely ever got this passive to go off. This passive is terrible. Absolutely horrendous. Why not just make it to where when he loads into a quest, he marks every enemy on the wave. When the enemy dies by whoever, he gets additional damage. Why tie it to only him getting the additional damage? If it was just, hey, the team kills anybody, that's good. It adds to the damage counter, because this is terrible for his own attack. They need to change this. I'm going to be honest. Change this to just be like damage 50% up for every enemy fell by the team. That way, he can actually get damage up. Because if he had a constant 1000% damage and you didn't have to freaking rely on this true art the whole time, I would have much better opinions about him. Because then it'd be like, okay, well, you could have like, 1000%, or let's say like on average, let's say there's about like 300% damage up here. And it's like, all right, well, you use your true art once, boom, you have 500% damage up. And then you can instantly go into the Phantom Bullet. You don't really have to worry about stacking this all the way, which would have been incredible. But you feel like you have to stack this all the way. And it sucks because it resets on use. You already only have one Origin Bullet. I could see it resetting on use for the super art, so you can't just indefinitely spam 1000% up damage super art. But dude, you only have one Phantom Bullet without the true weapon, and then with the true weapon you have two. So why make it to where this resets on use? It makes no sense. It's absolutely garbage. Also, his true weapons don't remedy it at all. It would have been cool if the one that gives you an extra Origin Bullet by default gives you like 5 stacks of Undertaker. You know what I mean? Like, why not do something like that? If you know he's going to struggle with taking out enemies, especially in this day and age, you cannot look at the current lineup of units we have in the global side of the game and be like, this guy is a good release. I don't know what you guys were smoking, because you guys made a phenomenal looking character that is so freaking cool. I love this guy's design, but you just made him a unit that's going to get cast to the wayside. I'm saying this not as a just absolute critique and just someone who's hating on every single thing you do. I'm saying this as somebody who cares about the game. And if you look at the current landscape of who we have, like Hiro Saitama, Okarun, Summer Miyu, we can go on and on. Shadow, Saito Hajime, like Young Emperor, Fearin, Demon Lord Rimuru, like all these characters that already deal so much damage and do something else, and they don't have to rely on some stupid like, oh, take out the enemies or whatever. What are we doing? And mind you, you already made a character like this that was actually good, and they were from a crossover named Rin and Luvia. They had a similar mechanic, but it gave the damage up to the whole team, but you just had to burn the enemy. They didn't have to take out the enemy, just burn them. Why didn't Simon have something similar where he marked the enemies for death, and then if the enemies got taken out by the team, Simon got buffed up? Also, not giving this guy a ratio passive is criminal, by the way. Like, his overall passives are god-awful. Maybe you're trying to like make him more like the original Simon, because the original Simon, if we actually go to him real quick, the Awoken one over here, I think the original Simon had this exact thing. Yeah, he had damage to humans, and that was pretty much it. But he had damage to humans. I'm gonna be honest, get rid of that. Why are we having damage to humans? It's whatever. I know he's like an assassin or whatever, but like, come on now. Let's actually think about how the game is nowadays and build a character for this, right? The accuracy up is perfectly fine, but the damage to humans, we could have got rid of this, man. We really could. We could have put a ratio passive here and help his damage even more. If we want to make this guy just damage incarnate, why not pedal to the metal, make him that? You know what I mean? Like, why limit it? Because it seems like you guys gave him all the tools to be one of the hardest hitting characters in the game, but you were so scared for him to get to that potential that you put so many limiters on him to make it to where you can never ever reach that crazy damage unless you get like the perfect circumstances. I do not like this character. I think design-wise, like character design-wise, he's fantastic. Like this SP art, the artworks in general, like just the way how he is, he looks really cool. I don't like his like 4 belt chokers though. That's kind of weird. Either way, kit design-wise, terrible. There's so many holes, so many gaps, easily remedied with like just a few tweaks here and there. And I personally would say that this is a character that actually needs to be buffed or reworked after release. Like, I'm talking about as soon as the release came out, I think you need to change the passive. I think you need to change the true art to maybe reset stacks on the true art, but not on the origin bullet. I think you need to change it to where his Sinful Gavel true weapon passive gives him stacks of Undertaker right out the gate. Or if you don't do that, you at least gotta do the marking thing. The marking thing is like the easiest fix for this guy, where Simon loads to the quest, he marks all the enemies for death, you get the damage up. That is the simplest way to fix this. Why in the big 2-6 do we have a unit that has to off enemies to become stronger? That makes no sense at all. It makes no sense whatsoever. Thematically, I like what y'all did. Kit-wise, god awful. That's all I have to say about this one, man. I've already wasted too much of y'all's time and too much of my own time. I'm sorry about that, but thank you all again for hanging out. It's me, Boy P. Don't forget to drink water.